This is NFL superstar and former MVP Aaron Rodgers. While athletically he is on top of his game, he has run into some problems this year dealing with COVID-19 and the vaccine. Aaron has come out publicly against the vaccine, and he has not yet received it. Rodgers missed a game due to giving COVID-19 after this and has been fined thousands of dollars throughout the process. He has also been publicly ridiculed by the media for weeks on end. Aaron and many other players in professional sports have been dealing with problems like this for over a year now. The finding and temporary suspicions of these players have come due to their choice not to comply with their league's COVID-19 guidelines and restrictions, and in some cases these guidelines are just flat out ridiculous. The shower environment, rich in water vapor, could favor the spread of the virus. For this reason, at least during the first week, athletes cannot have showers at their training site. This is an example of a ridiculous guideline to be followed. The NFL is not going to allow these 6'5", 300-pound men to shower after a workout because it could help spread COVID. If this rule were to be broken, the team and the athletes could be fined thousands of dollars. This adds to my belief that players should not be fined for breaking these ridiculous rules, and they should also not be forced into getting a vaccine. I surveyed students around the school, and the majority of them agreed with me. 75% of students said they believe these leagues should not be allowed to force a vaccine mandate. Additionally, 80% of students said that players who choose not to get vaccinated should not be fined. The main problem students had with the vaccine mandates and fines is that while they are employees of these leagues, these players still have freedoms and should be allowed to make their own medical decisions. This idea is something that is backed by the government in certain states. While the NBA and the NFL are both private companies and are able to have their own hiring and employment rules, there are certain things that are not allowed. Private sector employers like the NBA and the NFL are free to use any hiring criteria and require any condition of employment unless they violate federal or state law. Bills introduced in more than a dozen state legislatures would prohibit employers from mandating vaccination for COVID-19. This is without a doubt the main reason these leagues have not implemented these vaccine mandates, but they are still able to heavily fine these players in certain situations for not having the vaccine. While this is open to opinion if it is right or wrong, there is one thing that people from both sides of this argument can probably agree with. We should let these athletes worry about their own health decisions and not always put them on blast in front of the whole media based on what they choose. Many students around the school seem to agree with this too. I asked them if they cared about celebrities and athletes' vaccination status, and 88.2% of people said they just do not care. So, if we don't care, then the media should stop picking these athletes apart for views. In a recent interview with Pat McAfee, I think Aaron Rodgers sums up this idea pretty well.
Jokes aside, I understand that people are suffering, and this has been a really difficult time for the last 2 years on so many people. I think we all know individuals who've lost their lives. And I empathize with those things. And I also know how sports can be such a connector and bring people together in times of adversity. And I do realize that I am a role model to a lot of. I take full responsibility for those comments. And I'm excited about feeling better. I'm excited about moving forward and hopefully getting back with my team and getting back to doing what I do best, and that's playing ball. It's been tough to be away from it.
Rodgers makes a great point. Sports should be about connecting with other people and should bring them together. So instead of reporting on the vaccination status of these athletes, the media and the fans should focus on the actual athletics and trying to bond with one another instead of making these sports political. Because after all, that's what sports are really all about, having fun watching and playing. Studies showed that when the team you are cheering for wins, you receive a positive emotion. These positive emotions help you become friends with the strangers around you who you bond with over your common interest in your favorite team. Because once again, this is what sports are all about, coming together with people and getting over our differences. So instead of fining, suspending, and making these leagues political, we should be more focused on what sports are all about, having fun.